Greetings everyone, welcome to my another Discord bot series tutorial, and in today's video we're going to build a global chat. So let me give you a quick demo what I mean by a global chat. So in here I have two servers, one is called test1 and the other one's called test2, and what we're going to do, we're going to broadcast a message from one server to another server. So even though I have two servers at the moment, there could be multiple servers, and we can broadcast one message from one particular server to the more than the rest of the server on the receiver end. So let us go ahead and set up for both servers. So to do that, I'm going to type in a command called global chat, and then I'm going to say start, and I'm going to say which channel do I want to register for that. So I'm going to say in this case is general, so I'm just going to go and hit that, and you can see this channel has been registered. So I'm going to do the same for the test2 server. So I'm going to say global chat start, and then the channel itself, so general, and it has been registered. So what I'm going to do is let's try to send a message from this test1 server to test2. So I'm going to say hello, and we can see there's already a notification sort of bubble there, and you can see the message has been sent from the user, which is myself, and I said hello, and the server, it was from the test1, which is the red color, and the time it was sent and the message in the embeds. So what the bot did is basically broadcasted that message to the rest of the server that is registered, right? So for this one, I'm going to say, for example, hi, and if I go back there, you can see it's me who's the person who sent the message, and it's the message body, and the server it is from, which is test2, and it was sent on today. For instance, if you don't want to broadcast a message to the rest of the servers, or you want to unregister your server itself, so for that we also will be designing a command. So we're going to say global chat stop, and what it will do is take your server ID and literally remove it. So if I go ahead and do that, and you can see the channel has been basically removed from global chat sort of stuff. So if I say hello from here now, you can see there are no messages are getting broadcasted. So this is what we're going to do in terms of that. Now, there are two ways to actually achieve this. This is one of the ways that I've demonstrated you right now. The other way is to do through webhooks. You can set up webhooks between multiple servers, and you can actually broadcast the messages. Now, the idea of the global chat originated from like a game. So most of the games, they have a public chats, and where everybody actually able to jump in and chat amongst each other. But here it's like basically imagine like you can have your alt server, you might have another server, and you don't want to move people around, but you still want both of them to interact with each other. And this is, I think, one of the implementation that way you can achieve that. For prerequisites, you know the deal, guys. So you probably been watching that where I download files and open it through Python. And those who are new, I'll just quickly run you through this. So all you have to do is go to my repository. The link will be down below in the descriptions, and go ahead and select here. If you want to clone this, go ahead and clone it, whichever way you prefer. Or if for instance, if you don't have Git settings or GitHub, or you're unfamiliar with the entire systems, then go ahead and select download zip file. And once you have finished downloaded, go ahead and extract and perhaps extract wherever the location you would like it to be. And I will go ahead and now open the PyCharm. So in my case, I have opened the PyCharm. If you're using any other IDE or the text editor, go ahead and do the same. So you want to probably go and open the file where you have downloaded. So in my case, you can see discord.py series. I'm going to select that, and I'm going to go ahead and wait till my project is getting initiated. Now for PyCharm, there's a good reason you're going to get prompted with this box here. You can see where it's asking you to install all the required files which I created, requirements.txt. So go ahead and do that. That way you will not run into any issues, and you will have all the updated packages and libraries that are required to work on the project itself. Once you have successfully installed the requirements file, you're good to go. In case you're having trouble, you can go to the file, settings, and to the project itself, project interpreter. Click on that toggles, and what you can do is add a new environment, and go ahead and select OK, and that will do that. And then finally, what you can do, open a terminal, and you can go to the readme.md file real quick, and then scroll down, copy this command right here and paste it on your terminal. And that way you will also succeed in installing all the required files. But obviously, if you're using any other IDE and text editor, that you have to figure out yourself how you're going to install this, but the instruction would be same. That command should work if you have created a virtual environment, or if you want to install them globally as a side package, then you can do that too. Now we will move to the next section, which is going to our developer application, which is discord.com/developer/applications. Go ahead and copy your token and scroll down a little bit, and then make sure your present intents are turned on and server member intents are turned on, just in case if you're just new to this. Back to our PyCharm, open.env files, remove this text from here and paste your token there. Next, you want to go to main.py, scroll down a little bit, and here you will find error handlers, and you want to uncomment this. Just remove the hash from the front, just in case if you're not sure about the shortcut, but the shortcut for Windows is Control/, and for Mac is Command and /, and that should uncomment this line. And that way it'd be easy to see what bugs you're getting through, just in case if you're having any typo issues. So go ahead and save them all, come out from there. And now I'm gonna open the command sections from there and the database sections, and I'm gonna go ahead and create 2 new files. First one is under the commands. Right click the command, go to new, select Python files. I'm gonna name this global chat. Push enter, and for now this is fine. I'm going to right click on database, go on new and create a file, just a normal file, and I'm going to call this to global chat.json, and push enter too. I'm going to open 2 new brackets and push enter there and hit save all. Come out from here. And now before I'm gonna start writing code, just go back to your Discord itself. Go ahead and create 2 server, which in my case I've created 2 demo servers, which is server 1, server 2, and added some color backgrounds to them so that I can identify which one I'm getting messages from, and make sure the both server has your bot in them. So the bot is what will be needed to broadcast message amongst this server. So go ahead and do that. You don't need any specific permission for this, as long as the bot is able to send messages and receives and whatnot. Just a general permission would do it. But yeah, so let's go ahead and import some of the files. So import JSON, then import Discord, and then import datetime, and then from random import rand_int, and then from discord.ext import commands, and that will do. Let's go ahead and create a class, and I'm going to call this class global chat, which will take commands.cog. And now I'm gonna initialize my constructors, so init method, and as usual it takes bot, and I'm gonna say self.bot equals to bot, and I'm gonna come out there. I'm gonna define a setup method to add to our cog extensions, so setup, I'm gonna say bot here, and I'm going to say bot.add_cog, which will take a class of global chat itself, and global chat takes bot, and that's the basic constructions here. Now, as usual, we're gonna sort our storage first, and then basically implement our business logic in order to get whatever we want to get done. So some of the stuff, those who are following through this series, it will look somewhat similar, and then basically you can see that how I'm going through and building them up. So in future you want to build something different than this, you can actually implement these techniques in order to get your project completed. So let's go ahead and do the add commands.command, and first I'm going to set a permission so that only admin of a server can actually execute these commands. So commands.has permission, and I'm going to ensure that that would be administrator equals to true. And let's go ahead and define our method, async def, and I'm going to call this one global chat start. So this will be the command itself, and the command will take context ctx and the channel ID. So we're going to retrieve the channel information from the user, and let's go ahead and do that. The first thing we're going to need is guild ID. So guild ID will be ctx.message guild.id, and the next one will be channel ID. So channel ID is equal to, so we're gonna clean the string itself that we're receiving. So we're gonna say channel.strip, and if you print this channel itself, you will be able to see that there are some of the stuff in the front and the back which needs to be removed and clean it up. So I'm gonna say open these parentheses, and then basically I believe it comes with a hash. To apologize for that. Yeah, and yeah, that should do, and I'm gonna turn that into integer too. Yeah, just gonna say int in the front, and that will do. So now let's go ahead and open our file that we have created as a storage facility. and it's global chat.json, and we're going to read the file as file, and we're going to say global chat data equals to json.load. Going to load the file, and yeah, that should do. And the next one is going to be a new global chat equals to str string, and we're going to take the guild ID because guild ID comes in integer format, so we need to type int with the string, or cast it in this case. And there are two things I'm going to do here. So the first thing is check for the existing global chat, and the next thing is going to be adding a new global chat initially. So let's do that. Add new global chat. So we're going to implement this logic now. So if new global chat in global chat data, then we're going to say the user that you're already registered, so go ahead and chat, so don't try to implement that command again. So await ctx.send, and what we're going to send is a emoji with nice little way of saying that it's not possible. So I'm gonna make this a little bit bold. I'm gonna say channel has already added to global chat. That should do. And let's come to the add new global chat, and here, if that's not the case, so we're gonna say else. If that's not the case, then we obviously want to get the information and store it in our storage facility in this case. So global chat data, and then we're going to take the new global chat data, which is going to be equal to channel ID. So assign channel ID to that specific server, and there's going to be always one global chat per server here. So yeah, but feel free to modify it if you want to add multiple channels, but I'm not really seeing any use case here. Anyway, I'll go ahead and write the file now with open, and I'm just going to quickly copy this bit right here just to save some time, and I'm going to say write in this case as has to be one single code, and I'm going to say as new global chat, and we're going to say json.dump. Going to dump that. So global chat data, and then new global chat, and then I'm going to indent equals to 4. Pretty much same stuff. And yeah, and then basically gonna send a message to the user, letting them know that they have been actually registered now. So I'm gonna say await ctx.send, and I'm gonna send a nice little emoji here, which is gonna be a tick mark. So white check mark, and you're gonna say in bold, we're gonna say the channel has been added to global chat. Added to global chat. Right, so pretty simple, guys. So basically we're getting the guild ID, channel ID, and then basically we're reading the file, and then we're checking that if we have that that channel registered, that server particularly registered to with the global chat. If not, they're not associated, then go ahead and do that and let the user know that that is the case. We can now quickly go ahead and test that this is working. So I'm gonna hit save all, and let's go ahead and run the main.py, and let's go ahead and just wait for bot to come online. By the way, guys, by the time you download these files or clone it, you are likely to have all this ready and present there when you have it, but I would do suggest still that go through and understand what I tried to do here, so that for further implementation it'll be much more easier for you. Obviously I leave always as much as comment as possible to tell the user and that this is what's happening, but again, feel free to go through the video. So now we will try to start it. So global chat start, and we're going to pass in the channel, which is general, and let's see. Okay, the channel has been added to global chat, so let's go back there and we can open the global chat here. And you can see right here that this is the server ID and this is the channel has been assigned to the server ID. So if I go again and try to do that, so global chat start, and then let's do the same, then it should tell me basically channel has already added to global chat. So basically, so that should prevent me from doing that. Okay, that's fine. So our implementation is good so far. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop this and move on to the next sections now. So the next section is basically on every message here we're going to do we're gonna divide it, right? One part is where the person is sending, the other end is receiving. So that's the two portion. This is how I kind of imagine it, but obviously you'll see that it's in a one loop and it's just going through. But if you break this way down, then you can actually differentiate that what part needs to be implemented in what section, and it makes more sense. So let us go ahead and do that. So let me come from there, and I'm gonna say add commands dot cog dot listener, and we're gonna listen on the message. So async define on the message, and which is gonna take self and then message, and first thing first, I'm going to check that the message author bot, it shouldn't be bot, so bot shouldn't be sending a message while you're doing it, otherwise somebody could take advantage of that. And we're also gonna, like, basically when we are sending like commands like this, we want to also avoid them. So if our bot has a prefix and anything starts with that prefix, then the entire message should get like avoided, so that the rest of the people on the other servers shouldn't see them. There could be some information that you don't want other to see it. So let's go ahead and do that. If not message dot author dot bot, and the next one we're going to check if not message dot content dot start with the explanation mark. I believe that's the one. Yeah, that should do it. Oops, too many dot. That should do it. And yeah, so that's taken care. Although you probably, if you're doing custom prefixes for your bot, then the one suggestions that I can make, that you turn this into an array object, and what would happen then is that let me quickly show you. So you can turn this into an array object, and what you can take is prefixes. So you can take their prefixes. So every individual server might have their custom, if you're providing custom prefixes for your server, then in this case that each server are expected to have a different prefixes. And what you can do, you can take that prefix from there and store it as an array object in here, and then literally you can do the check over here. Maybe not this, but rather literally taking the prefix, and you can actually do that. So now we're going to open the file, and we're going to take the keys and values. So if you've been through some of the tutorials, I've been doing that. So I'm just going to quickly go ahead and copy this bit. Realize I'm going to read. Just going to copy this. Makes it a little easy. As file, and let's do global chat data equals to JSON dot load. JSON dot load, and then the file. Right, that should do it. And I'm gonna say channel. So we need channel ID mostly here. So I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna turn that into list. So we're going to say global chat data dot values, and that should be fine, because if you look here, this is the key, this is the value. So key pair values, we normally say that. So let me come down here. So first, okay, if you remember, I said I'm going to divide that message sender and the receiver. So I'm going to say this section is for message sender, and this section is for message receiver. And so RECEIVR receiver. And yeah, so let's take the let's actually look what we want to do in the message sender. So we basically want to see if this the person who's sending his data is present in the actual channel. If it is, then obviously we want to avoid sending messages to himself and whatnot, literally in this case. So I'm gonna say if message dot channel ID in channel ID. So it's already a list, you don't need to iterate it. Okay, that's typo. So if that's the case, so we want to take it then if not message dot content. So this is basically if there's any unsupported cases, then return nothing, literally, for that, right? That should do it. And yeah, I cannot think of anything for message sender in this case, because I'm just going to leave that as it is, because we don't want them to see their messages but rather the receiver to see their messages, right? So that's what we're gonna do. So let me just quickly comment out here. So this is gonna be the unsupported message content, like such as image or anything like that, right? And let's go ahead and do for IDs in channel ID, and we're gonna say if message dot channel dot ID is not equal to IDs, so all the IDs that we're iterating through, okay, yeah, to IDs, then we're gonna send the message, right? So we are iterating through all the channel IDs, and the one that particularly it's not mine, then avoid that message. So don't send me the message, rather send it to the receiver. So that's what we're gonna happen. So then we're gonna say we're gonna take an embed, which is message embed equals to Discord. To apologize for the typos, guys, today. Embed, and gonna give some random colors to it. So color equals to rendered, I believe. So rendered, and it's the starting color. It's from 0 to the all the rest of the hexadecimal, which is 0x 1 2 3 4 5 6, 6 of them, 6 of the F's. Yeah, so let's go ahead and add all the stuff to our embed. So message embed. Okay, I made a typo here. Embed dot timestamp. Sorry guys, this is getting a little bit slower on my computer. Yep, timestamp equals to date time dot date time dot UTC now, so current time. You should not have any issues for the time zone. I think this should cover it. But let me know in the comment just in case if that I will update, because I did not actually tested it. Embed dot set author, and we're gonna say icon URL is equal to message. So we're gonna send the avatar of the user. Message dot author dot avatar dot avatar underscore URL, I believe. Yeah. And I'm gonna set the name next to it, which is equal to f-string literals. I'm gonna pass in that message dot author. That should be fine. And let's do a descriptions where we're gonna send the message itself. So message body, so message embed dot descriptions, and let's do the string literals. The thing is equal to, yeah. And let's do string literals, and I'm gonna say nice little embeds here. So said, and I'm gonna give a little space, and oops, and gonna say the message content itself. So message dot content, so whatever the user is sending. And then I'm gonna set a footer to this embed, so message embed dot set footer. Yeah, that's the one. I'm gonna say icon URL is equal to message. So I'm gonna send the guild icon, I believe. So message dot guild dot icon URL. Yeah, that should do it. There seems to be no error. And the text is equal to message dot guild dot name. So the name of the guild server that we're sending messages from. And finally, let's just send the embed. So say await self dot bot dot get channel. So we need to get the channel, and we're gonna get the channels from the IDs itself where we're iterating through. And pass it in there. Sorry guys. I'm gonna say dot send. I'm gonna pass in embed equals to, and then message message embed, and that should do it. Yeah, everything looks fine to me. Let's go ahead and hit save and run. And let's go to our Discord. And what I'm gonna do, I'm also gonna start global chat here, so we can see this in action. So global chat start, and the channel, which is general itself, should get registered. So I'm gonna say hello from here, and let's take a look. Right, I did not get message, so let's see what's the bug here. And starts with, and if not message, that content starts with string object has no attributes start with. Okay, oh, okay, it starts with S. Sorry guys, let me just go ahead and hit save and run again. Let's go to our Discord, and I believe I can type in hello because we have registered. And if I go back here, there you go. So we see the avatar, which is my account avatar itself. So we see that icon here, and then the name and the ID itself, and then my message, and then literally which server it was from, which is server 2, just to confirm, and what time it was exactly. Right, so if I say hi from here, I should get same on the other side. So again, myself, and then server 1, which is that's the server and when it was sent. So guys, we have successfully broadcasted the message amongst those server. You can go ahead and add more server and test it, and I'm pretty sure it will work. There shouldn't be anything causing trouble. So finally the final implementation, which is basically the adding the part where we actually remove the server that will remove this information, so channel information or the guild ID information, so that we don't get broadcasted, so the user doesn't get the message broadcast to their server. So let's go ahead and do that. So we can implement the commands now. Command start command And we're also going to ensure that this is executed by the admin itself. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy this one real quick. And we're going to say async defined and global chat stop. So we want to stop the service itself. It's going to take self and CTX and nothing more than that. And we're going to get the guild ID. Guild ID is equal to ctx.message.guild.id. And now you're going to read the files, and we're going to find that ID in that JSON file and pop that, right? So pop is a method of removing anything from a object. So I'm just going to take this one and there, and again I'm also going to take this one too, because it's all same, there's no point of typing. And I'm gonna say global chat data dot pop, and what I'm on the pop is the guild ID. And once it's done that, we're gonna write the file, right? So I'm gonna take this bit. I'm just gonna modify this one. So let's go down a bit. So here we're gonna do update global chat. Let's paste it there. I'm gonna change here. So I'm gonna say, rather than new, I'm gonna say update global chat. Update global chat file itself. And I'm gonna copy this, paste it here, and this will be fine. And then rest indent is equal to 4, which is also fine. So let's see what is going on here. I think it's just spacing. So if I do that, that should be fine. So everything looks good to me. I'm gonna go ahead and hit save all, and gonna run this to our server on Discord, and I will try to actually stop this one from broadcasting, so that way we will test it. So we're gonna say the prefix of the bot and the global chat stop command itself, and that should do that. Here we got a key error. Right, let's see where is the key error is. So I need to turn this into string because it's string format. If you look here, this is string. So and if I print the type of that guild ID, it will be an integer. So we need to turn this into string too. And let's go ahead and save all, stop this, and run again. And let's go back here. Just gonna copy this, paste it here, and let's take a look. And you can see it has removed. Now also we want to send a message to the user that it has been removed. So I'm gonna just stop there and quickly implement that. We can say await ctx.send, and what we're going to say, we will say that this channel has been removed. So let's take that, and let's take this emoji and paste it here, and I'm gonna say in bold, channel has been removed from global chat. Right, feel free to write whatever you think it's best. just writing something. And let's go ahead and hit save and see that in actions, because we have one more server. So what we'll do, we'll also close this one down. So here we'll say global chat stop, and we should see the message. Okay, the bot hasn't come online. And yep, there you go. Channel has been removed from global chat. So this is the implementation, guys, and it was pretty simple, to be honest. I try to keep things a bit clean here, although you can make this complicated as per your need, but to me it's just the playing around with the implementation itself. And you can see that whatever I have been implementing through, I'm actually building up on top of that rather than changing entire structure. And you can actually do that if you want to work on something else that I'm not really covering in this tutorial. And again, guys, if there is an issue, head over to my Discord server, which is linked below in the descriptions. And if you can't get through there, then leave a comment, and I promise I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. But there will be some delay. Do notice that. And thank you for watching, guys. And I'm hoping you enjoyed it through and you learned something. And I'm looking forward to bring another tutorial very soon. Till then, make sure to like, subscribe, and keep the bell notification up, so when I drop another video you don't get to miss it. And I'll see you soon. Goodbye.